Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Westford Academy women's team meet against Newton South. We had a great meet last night for the men's team, and we're hoping for another great meet tonight. We also have all of our divers starting tonight in just a couple of minutes, both male and female divers. So I am going to announce the order of diving tonight. We have Sydney Harding first, Alex Ryan next, Hannah Macy next, Kaylee Harding next, Lizzie Durgan next. Then we'll have our male divers Jonah Coulter and Jeremiah Bernal. All right, stay tuned. We'll get started with diving in just a minute. Oh, I also wanted to let everybody know that we are having a little bit of Wi-Fi difficulties. We're hoping to get that figured out, but just in case you're noticing some buffering or breaks in the stream, we apologize for that, but unfortunately we're at the mercy of the pool's Wi-Fi. In weeks to come, we're hoping to figure out a solution in case this does happen, but just be patient with us for now, and we'll keep you posted. Thanks, everyone. All right, we have our first diver ready to start. We have Sydney doing a forward 1 somersault in the pike position, degree of difficulty 1.5. Scores 6, 6.5, 5.5. Next up, we have Alex doing a forward dive in the tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.2. Scores 4.5, 4, 4.5. Next up, we have Hannah doing a forward 1 somersault in the pike position, degree of difficulty 1.5. Scores 5.5, 6, 6. Next up, we have Kaylee doing her first dive, a forward 1.5 somersault in the pike position, degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores 7, 6.5, 6.5. Next, we have Lizzie doing her first dive, a forward 1.5 somersault in the pike position, degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores 8.5, 8.5, 8. Jonah's first dive is a forward 1.5 somersault in the tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.6. Scores 5.5, 6, 5.5. Jeremiah's first dive will be a forward 1.5 somersault in the pike position, degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores 7, 6, 6.5. That concludes our first round of diving. Sydney's second dive will be a forward 1 somersault with a half twist in the free position. Degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores 5.5, 6.5, 5.5. Alex's second dive is a forward 1 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 1.4. Scores 5.5, 5.5, 5. Hannah's second dive will be a forward 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 1.6. Scores 4.5, 4.5, 5. Kaylee's second dive will be a forward 2 somersaults in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.2. Scores 6, 7, 6.5. Lizzie's second dive will be an inward 1.5 somersault in the pike position. Degree of difficulty 2.4. Scores 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. Jonah's second dive will be a forward 2 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.2. Scores 6, 6.5, 6. Jeremiah's second dive will be a back dive in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 1.5. Scores 8, 7, 7.5. That concludes our second round of diving. For Sydney's third dive, she will do a forward 1 somersault with 1 twist in the free position. Degree of difficulty 1.9. Scores 3, 4, 2.5. Alex's third dive will be a forward 1 somersault with a half twist in the free position. Degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores 5, 4, 5. Hannah's third dive will be an inward dive in the pike position. Degree of difficulty 1.5. Scores 5.5, 5.5, 4.5. Kaylee's third dive will be an inward dive in the pike position. Degree of difficulty 1.5. Scores 8, 7, 7. Lizzie's third dive will be a reverse 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.1. Scores 6.5, 7, 6.5. Jonah's third dive will be an inward 1 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 1.6. Scores 6, 6.5, 5.5. Jeremiah's third dive will be a reverse dive in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 1.6. Scores 6, 6, 6.5. Sydney's fourth dive, that concludes the third round of diving. We're on to our fourth round. Sydney's fourth dive will be a forward 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 1.6. Scores 6, 6.5, 6. Alex's fourth dive will be an inward dive in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 1.4. Scores 5.5, 6, 5. Hannah's fourth dive will be a back dive in the straight position. Degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores 5, 5.5, 5.5. Kaylee's fourth dive will be an inward dive, inward 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.2. Scores 7, 7, 7. Lizzie's fourth dive will be a forward 2.5 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.2. Excuse me, 2.4. Scores 5.5, 6, 6. Jonah's fourth dive will be a reverse 1 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 1.6. Scores 4, 5, 4.5. Jeremiah's fourth dive will be an inward dive in the pike position. Degree of difficulty 1.5. Scores 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. That concludes our fourth round of diving. Sydney's fifth dive is a inward dive in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 1.4. Scores 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Alex's fifth dive is a back one somersault in the straight position. Degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores 4, 5, 4. And I just want to apologize. I think there was a last minute change for Sydney's dive. So it was a changed dive. Hannah's fifth dive is a back one somersault in the straight position. Degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores 5, 5, 5. Kaylee's fifth dive is a back dive in the pike position. Degree of difficulty 1.6. Scores 8, 7.5, 8. Lizzie's fifth dive is a forward 1.5 somersault with one twist in the free position. Degree of difficulty 2.2. Scores 7, 7, 8. Jonah's fifth dive is a forward one somersault with one twist in the free position. Degree of difficulty 1.9. Scores 4, 4, 4. Jeremiah's fifth dive is an inward 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.2. Sorry everybody, I think there was a last minute change on that dive as well, so that was actually forward 2 somersaults. We've moved on to the final round of diving. Sydney's sixth dive will be a back 1 somersault in the straight position. Degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores 5, 5, 4.5. Alex's sixth dive will be a back 1 somersault in a half twist in the free position. Degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores 2.5, 4, 4. Hannah's final dive will be a back 1 somersault with a half twist in the free position. Degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores 5, 5, 4.5. Kaylee's final dive will be a forward 1 somersault with 2 twists in the free position. Degree of difficulty 2.3. Scores 6, 6.5, 6.5. Lizzie's final dive will be a back 1 somersault with 2.5 twists in the free position. Degree of difficulty 2.7. Scores 7, 6.5, 7. Jonah's final dive will be a back 1 somersault with a half twist in the free position. Degree of difficulty 1.7. Scores 5.5, 5.5, 5. Jeremiah's final dive will be a back 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.0. Excuse me, I think that's a last minute change as well, so we'll see how Jeremiah does. So we did an inward 1.5 somersaults in the tuck position. Excuse me. 7.5, 7, 7 for Jeremiah. Wonderful job from all of our divers tonight. It was exciting to see Jeremiah's first meet with us, and we will see how the meet gets started soon. We're coming back soon with the Medley Relays. All right, everybody, we are going to get started with the medley relay tonight. In lane 1, we have Sarah Matthew, Maggie Mullen, Olivia Emanuel, Brenna Donahue. And in lane 3, we have Eloise Andrews, Maddie Carroll, Elena Svoboda, and Erin Blatt. In lane 5, we have Kate Edison, Mia Burns, Michaela Martin, and Kylie Hoare. In lane 7, we have Sophia Estevez, Ella York, Ruby Krikorian, Allie Bean. And in lane 8, we have Allie Lombardo, Matali Deshmukh, Joy Cow, and Joy Cow. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed Megan Mativier at the beginning of that relay as well. Just a reminder that for the medley relay, the order is backstroke, breaststroke, fly, and free. The sectionals qualifying time in this event is a 2:13.22, and the state's qualifying time is a 2:05.00. Thank you, everybody, for joining us again this week. Last week went great. I just wanted to let everybody know who's tuning in now. We are having some Wi-Fi difficulties, which we had with the boys' meet yesterday as well, but we're hoping that by next weekend we can figure out a better solution, and we'll still be here updating you. You'll still hear my voice, hopefully just fine, and we'll be updating on you on how the meet's going. All right, we're about to get underway with our 200 medley relay. All right, and I also wanted to remind everybody that for our meet today, we are swimming this meet virtually, which means that we're filling all the lanes with Westford swimmers, but there are 3 predetermined official swimmers in each event. So you'll see the whole pool filled with Westford swimmers, but later we will be adding in the results for the Newton South swimmers as well, and see how their times compare. All right, hopping in the water now, we have Sarah Matthew in lane 1, Eloise Andrews in lane 3, Kate Edison in lane 5, Sophia Estevez in lane 7, Megan Mativier in lane 8, off for the backstroke. Also a reminder that lane 1 is furthest from the camera and lane 8 is closest to the camera. All right, so far we have Kate Edison out in the lead in lane 5. Not far behind her, Eloise Andrews in lane 3. About dead even from these leading ladies. Next off, we have Maddie Carroll and Mia Burns diving into the pool for breaststroke. We also have Ella York in the pool, Allie Lombardo, and Maggie Mullen. Mia Burns pulling ahead on her pullout. Maddie Carroll not far behind. Diving in next, we have Michaela Martin for butterfly. Over in lane 3, we have Elena Svoboda. In lane 7, close to us, we have Ruby Krikorian. And about to dive in lane 1, we have Olivia Emanuel. And closest to us, Matali Deshmukh. Michaela Martin pulling the relay far ahead. And in dives senior captain Kylie Hoare for the 50 freestyle. Over in lane 3, we have Erin Blatt diving in for her freestyle. Lane 7, we have Olivia Smith. Lane 1, Taylor Campbell. Brenna Donahue. And closest to us, about to dive in, is Joy Cow. Finishing in lane 5 is Kylie Hoare. And finishing in lane 3 is Erin Blatz. Finishing in lane 7 is Allie Bean. Over in lane 1, great swims from Brenna Donahue. And finishing up closest to us in lane 8 is Joy Cow. Great swim from our Medley Relays. We'll get those official times to you soon. Next up is our 200 freestyle. In lane 1 will be Taylor Campbell. In lane 2, Sharayu Takade. In lane 3, Sarah Bordeaux. In lane 4, Estella Cui. In lane 5, Maddie Leong. In lane 6, Jane Edison. In lane 7, Olivia Smith. And in lane 8, Emily Fitzpatrick. All of these girls are new to the event this week for the season. This was their first time swimming it this week. Except for Emily Fitzpatrick, who's working to beat her time of 2:42.96 in this event. The sectionals qualifying time in this event is a 2:10.35, and the states qualifying time is a 2:07.15. Just a reminder that we will not be having the sectionals and state tournament meets this season, unfortunately, due to COVID. However, we still are working towards these times as a motivation for the swimmers, and they're living up to that expectation. We've had a lot of cuts so far. All right, here goes our Westford girls in the 200-yard freestyle. All right, in lane 1 we have Taylor Campbell, lane 2 Sharayu Takade, lane 3 Sarah Bordeaux, lane 4 Estella Cui, lane 5 Madison Leong, lane 6 Jane Edison, lane 7 Olivia Smith, and lane 8 Emily Fitzpatrick. So far we have senior captain Madison Leong in the lead, not far behind her. In lane 4 is Estella Cui. Closer to us in lane 6 is Jane Edison. All of our girls off to a strong first 50. The 200 freestyle is a tough event, being a sprint event, but also in a high school meet feels like a long event as well, because you don't get much rest in between your events. Madison Leong looking strong. This is where she needs to turn on her legs in her third 50 of her race, which she's definitely done. Definitely looking like a state qualifying time for Madison so far. Estella Cui looking strong as well, turning on her kick in this third 50. Sharayu over in lane 2, pulling ahead of Sarah Bordeaux, both girls looking strong as they go into the fourth 50 of this event. Here comes Madison Leong into her finish. Great swim from the senior captain, Madison Leong, and that 200 freestyle will get her official time to you soon. Another great time from Estella as well. Madison Leong, as of last year, had the 10th fastest time in Westford's history with a 1:57.71. We'll see if she can beat that time at some point this year to move her up in the ranks. Great finishes from Taylor Campbell, Sharyu, and Sarah over in lanes 2 and 3, and a strong finish from Emily. We'll see if she beat that time from last week of 2:42.96. All right, I have the results coming in from the 200 medley relay. In lane 5, a time of 2 minutes 43 seconds. I'm sorry, a time of 2 minutes, 0.43. In lane 3, time of 2:06.84. Lane 7, a time of 2:14.68. Lane 1, a time of 2:21.22. And in lane 8, a time of 2:34.03. Next up, we have the 200 IM. In lane 1, we will have Neha Janardhan. In lane 2, we have Ella York. Lane 3, Olivia Emmanuel. In lane 4, Mia Burns. In lane 5, Eloise Andrews. Lane 6, Lauren Wazak. Lane 7, Vivian Ader. And lane 8, Sarah Matthew. This is the girls, all of these girls' first time swimming this event this season. So they'll get some times on the best times board. All right, here go our IMers. The sectionals qualifying time in this event is a 2:28.59, and the state qualifying time is a 2:24.56. A false start in lane 7, but Vivian will get right back up and go for number 2. Strong butterfly from all of the girls, getting them out in front. Eloise Andrews, a freshman, and Mia Burns, a sophomore, looking close at the start of the race. Lauren Wazak, even with them as well. Looks like Mia is ahead at the turn. Both Mia and Eloise, as well as Lauren, with very strong back strokes, which will pull them farther ahead. Closest to us in lane 8, Sarah Matthew is looking strong. Mia and Eloise looking dead even at the turn, going into their breaststroke. Lauren Wazak not far behind. Vivian Ader going into her breaststroke, one of her strongest events. This will help her, as it's a great skill to be a breaststroker in the IM. Mia Burns pulling ahead of Eloise in the breaststroke, as it is one of her strongest strokes as well. Ella York looking strong in the breaststroke with Olivia close by. and Neha on our other side of the pool over in lane 1. We'll see if Mia can keep this lead into the last 25 of the event. Looks like she will, with a strong kick into her finish. Eloise not far behind. Great race from both girls. We'll get those official times to you soon. Here comes Lauren into her finish. Great race. Ella York looking really strong in her last 25, as well as Olivia not far behind her. Vivian Eder and Sarah Matthew coming in for their finish. And over in lane 1 we have Neha coming in with a strong finish. We'll get those official times to you soon. All right, I have the official times for the 200 freestyle. In lane 5, we had Madison Leong with a 2:03.43, which is a state qualifying time. Way to go, Madison. In lane 4, we had Estella with a time of 2:09.97, a sectionals qualifying time. In lane 6, we had Jane Edison with a time of 2:20.01. In lane 3, we had Sarah Bordeaux with a time of 2:26.28. In lane 2, Sharayu Takade with a time of 2:27.41. In lane 7, Olivia Smith with a time of 2:34.03. And in lane 1, Taylor Campbell with a time of 2:37.93. And in lane 8, Emily Fitzpatrick with a time of 2:43.35. Next up, we have the 50-yard freestyle. In lane 1, Maggie Mullen. In lane 2, Felicia Kwan. In lane 3, Ruby Krikorian. In lane 4, Julia Chicana. In lane 5, Michaela Martin. In lane 6, Kylie Hoare. In lane 7, Erin Blatt. And in lane 8, Maddie Carroll. Just a reminder that we have lane 1 on the farthest from the camera, and lane 8 is the closest. All right, a dead even race in the first 25, but it looks like Michaela Martin is in the lead, her first time swimming this event this season. Ruby's working to beat her time of 27.95 from last week, and Julia Chicana working to beat a 26.1 from last week. Looks like we had Michaela, then Julia, then Kylie for the finish. We'll get those official times to you soon. Great swims, girls. All right, our swimmers are going to take a 10-minute warm-up break, and we will be back soon. I will have the times for the past few events, so I will be updating you soon on those. All right, everybody. I have the official times for the 200 IM and the 50 freestyle. For the 200 IM in lane 4, we had Mia Burns with a 2:23.81, which would qualify her for states. In lane 5, we had Eloise Andrews with a time of 2:26.32, which is a sectionals qualifying time. In lane 6, we had Lauren Wazak with a time of 2:37.57. In lane 2, we had Ella York with a time of 2:44.53. In lane 3, we had Olivia Emanuel with a time of 2:46.12. In lane 7, we have Olivia Smith with a time of 2:51.10. In lane 8, we had Emily Fitzpatrick. I'm sorry, everybody. In lane 7, we had Vivian Ader with a time of 2:51.10. In lane 8, we had Sarah Matthew with a time of 2:51.91. And in lane 1, we had Neha Janardhan with a time of 3:06.03. Great job, IMers. For the 50 freestyle in lane 5, we had Michaela Martin with a time of 25:63, which is well below the state qualifying time. In lane 4, we had Julia Tricana, who cut about 0.1 off of her time with a 26:00. In lane 6, we had Kylie Hoare with a time of 27:27. In lane 7, we had Erin Blatt with a time of 28:03. In lane 3, we had Ruby Krikorian with a time of 28:09, very close to Erin. In lane 2, we had Felicia Kwan with a time of 28:32. In lane 1, we had Maggie Mullen with a time of 29:00. And in lane 8, we had Maddie Carroll with a time of 29:56. Way to go. Every single girl under 30. Amazing. All right, we will be back soon after warm-up. All right, we're getting ready for the 100 fly. In lane 2, we have Shariu Takade. In lane 3, we have Julia Tricana. Lane 4, Kate Edison. Lane 5, Madison Leong. Lane 6, Alina Svoboda. In lane 7, Lauren Wazak. And all of these girls are new to this event this season, did not swim it last weekend, except for Alina Svoboda, who swam it in a 103.5. So we'll see if she can beat that time today. Our sectionals qualifying time in this event is a 107.32, and states is a 105.36. So Alina has already qualified for this event. We'll see if we can get some more qualifiers in. All right, first to the wall at the 50 was Kate Edison. Close behind her is Madison Leong. And close behind both of them is Alina Svoboda. Julia Tricana also looking strong over in lane 3. Closer to us, we have Lauren Wazak, looking strong as well in the third 25. And it looks like Kate will pull ahead for a strong finish in this event. As of right now, it looks like her time was about a 00 in that event, with Madison Leong with a 101 behind her. But we'll get those official times for you soon. Great swims from our butterflyers. Here comes Shariu in for her finish, her first time swimming the event this season. One of the harder strokes and looking strong. All right. Next up will be our 100 freestyle. In lane 1, we have Joy Cow. Lane 2, Allie Bean. Lane 3, Jane Edison. Lane 4, Felicia Kwan. Lane 5, Michaela Martin. Lane 6, Ruby Krikorian. Lane 7, Sofia Estevez. And lane 8, Allie Lombardo. All right, just a reminder in our second half that lane 1 is furthest from the camera and lane 8 is closest to us. And about to step up are our 100 freestylers. Our sectionals qualifying time in this event is a 59.51, and the state qualifying time is a 57.91. Michaela pulls ahead from her first underwater, looking strong. Still ahead of the pack at that 50 with a strong body length lead. Behind her in lane 4 is Felicia Kwan. And close by in lane 6 is Ruby Krikorian. Jane Edison also close to the leading pack, as well as Sofia Estevez over in lane 7. Allie Lombardo looking strong as well, closest to us in lane 8. And Joy Cal looking strong in lane 1 as well. This is all of these girls' first event. And a great strong finish from Michaela Martin, coming in seconds in front of everybody else, looking really strong. And great swims from the other girls as well. We'll get those official times to you soon. And here comes Joy into her finish. Great swims, girls. All right, and we have the results from the 100 butterfly. In lane 4 was Madison Leong with a 1:00:66, which is definitely a state qualifying time. I'm sorry, everybody. Lane 4 was Kate Edison with a 1:00:66. In lane 5 was Madison Leong, not far behind, with a 1:02:03, also a state qualifying time. Alina Svoboda shedding some time off of her time from last week with a 1:03:41. And in lane 3 was Julia Tricana with a 1:06:19, so qualifying for sectionals and very close to that state cut. In lane 7, Lauren Wazak with a 1:10:69. And in lane 2, Sharayu Takade with a 1:29:69. Great swims from our butterflyers. Next up, we have our 500 freestyle. In lane 1 will be Emily Fitzpatrick. In lane 2, Matali Deshmukh. In lane 3, Neha Janardhan. In lane 4, Eloise Andrews. In lane 5, Mia Burns. In lane 6, Erin Blatt. In lane 7, Megan Mativier. And in lane 8, Brenna Donahue. This is every girl's first time swimming this event this season. The sectionals qualifying time in this race is a 5:54:51, and the state qualifying time in this race is a 5:43:47. All right, here go our 500 freestylers. This is the longest event we have in high school swimming. Takes a lot of endurance, although for some of these swimmers, they're also U.S. Competitive swimmers, so they swim for club teams year-round and will swim distances even further. So this might feel a little bit faster for them. But either way, it's one of the tougher events, as you need to stay strong throughout the whole 500 yards. It is 20:25s or 10:50s. Out in front already, we have Eloise Andrews and Mia Burns swimming next to each other once again in this event. They were also next to each other in the 200 IM. Not far behind them is Erin Blatt in lane 6. Looks like Mia and Eloise will be swimming close for most of this event. It's fun being able to race your teammates close by. Usually there's a competitor from another team in between each, but this season we get to swim against our teammates, which is motivating and fun as well. Over on the far side of the pool, farther away from the camera, we have Emily Fitzpatrick, Matali Deshmukh, and Neha Janardhan. Pretty even right now, looking strong. Closer to us, we have Megan Mativier and Brenna Donahue looking strong as well. At the 150 mark, we had Eloise Andrews turning first. We'll see who comes out in front in the 200 turn. Again, the sectionals qualifying time for this event is a 5:54.51, and the state qualifying time is a 5:43.47. Looks like the race is pretty dead even as we go into the 250 with Eloise and Mia. Mia might be inching ahead of Eloise a bit. Over in lane 2, it looks like Matali has pulled ahead of some of her competitors, Emily and Neha, looking really strong as she picks up the tempo in this second half of the event. Or about to be the second half of her event. Close to us, we have Megan Mativier and Brenna Donahue looking pretty dead even in this event. Along with the leaders of the 500, Eloise and Mia. Turning at almost exactly the same time at the 300. They have a 200 left, but it looks like Mia is pulling ahead a bit. We'll see if Eloise can hold on to that lead. Does look like Eloise is fighting back a bit on the turns as she tries to use her underwaters to her advantage. But at the 350, it looks like Mia's turning first. Matali swimming very well over in lane 2. Along with Emily and Neha. Closer to us, we have Erin Blatt about to turn. In third place over closer to us. All right, it looks like Mia and Eloise are still in a dead even competition for this last 100. We'll see who will take it. All right, we're watching both girls in the lead picking up their pace. Their kick is getting stronger as they go into the final 50. The official will ring the bell for both girls to let them know they're on their last lap. Oh, they are turning at the exact same time into the last 25. Who will take away with a win in this event? We'll see. Oh, and it looks like Eloise will touch first, but that was a great race for these girls pushing each other. All right, Erin Blatt is about to be on her last 25 of the race. She's sprinting into her finish as well. With a strong pull as she gets into the flags. Nice finish from Erin. All right, it looks like Mitali is going into her last turn. Looking really strong. A couple of the girls closest to us finishing their last 25s with a really strong kick. Both Megan and Brenna. Nice finishes from Brenna, Megan, and Mitali in that one. All right, we have Emily finishing her last few yards of the race. And Neha coming in as well as their teammates cheer for them. And Neha finishing up that event. Great swims from our 500 swimmers. Their first time swimming that this season. All right, I have the results from our 100 freestyle. In lane 5, we had Michaela Martin with a very fast 55:44, seconds ahead of the competition in a state qualifying time. In lane 4, we had Felicia Kwan with a 101.80. In lane 6, we had in lane 3, we had Jane Edison with a 103.50. In lane 6, we had Ruby Krikorian with a 104.27. In lane 7, we had Sofia Estevez with a 104.88. In lane 8, we had Ali Lombardo with a 104.69. In lane 7, we had, in lane 2, we had Ali Bean with a time of 110.57. And in lane 1, we had Joy Cow with a time of 118.97. Great job, freestylers. All right, everybody, we are going to be taking a quick warm-up to give some of our swimmers some time before their next few events, and we'll be back with you soon. All right, everybody, we're coming back for the 200 free relay in just a minute. In lane 3 will be Ruby Krikorian, Jane Edison, Lauren Wazak, and Sharyu Takade. In lane 5 will be Madison Leong, Michaela Martin, Felicia Kwan, and Julia Chicana. And in lane 7 we'll have Ali Lombardo, Sarah Bordeaux, Vivian Eder, and Sarah Matthew. The sectionals qualifying time for this relay is a 1:58.71. The state qualifying time is a 1:50.23. All right, leading us off, we have Ruby Krikorian furthest from us in lane 3. Captain Madison Leong in the center lane in lane 5. And Ali Lombardo in lane 7. All right, we have Madison off to a strong finish with Michaela going next. Diving in over in lane 3 is Jane, and close behind her was Sarah Bordeaux in lane 7. All right, about to go off of Michaela is Felicia Kwan. Diving in closest to us in lane 7, Vivian Eder, and furthest from us is Lauren Wazak in lane 3. All right, we have Julia Chicana about to dive in our center lane 5. One of our fastest sprinters. Let's see what she can do as the anchor of our lane 5 relay. Just diving in over in lane 3 is Sharyu Takade, and closest to us is Sarah Matthew for our anchors. And a strong finish from Julia Chicana in lane 5. A strong finish in lane 3 from Sharyu as well. And coming in lane 7 is Sarah Matthew. Great swim, ladies. All right, everybody, next up we have the 100 backstroke. In lane 1 is Taylor Campbell. Lane 2 is Allie Bean. Lane 3 is Sofia Estevez. In lane 4 is Alina Svoboda. In lane 5 is Kate Edison. Lane 6 is Estella Cui. Lane 7 is Olivia Smith. And in lane 8 is Ella York. Last week, the only swimmer in this event to swim it again this week is Sofia Estevez, and last week she had a time of 1:08.53, so she's hoping to beat that time this week. All right, our swimmers are in and ready for the 100 backstroke. All right, strong underwaters on that first start from all of the girls. Looks like Kate Edison will lead us off in our center lane, lane 5, with Alina Svoboda turning right behind her. Close by is over in lane 3, Sofia Estevez off to a great start. Estella Cui in lane 6 is also close to our center lane. Kate pulling a little further ahead on this second 50, with Alina, Estella, and Sophia not far behind. All right, coming into her finish is Kate Edison. We'll get a time on her. Our sectionals qualifying time is a 106.96. States is a 105.20. Fast swims from all of those girls. Estella, Sophia, Alina, Kate. Finishing up over in lane 2 is Allie. Lane 1, Taylor Campbell. And closer to us, finishing up Olivia Smith and Ella York. All right, everybody, I have the official times for our 500 freestyle. In lane 4 was Eloise Andrews with a time of 5:44.88. Close behind her was Mia Burns with a time of 5:45.97. In lane 6, Erin Blatt with a time of 6:26.84. In lane 8, an outside success was Brenna Donahue with a time of 7:04.06. In lane 2, Mitali Deshmukh with a time of 7:09.63. In lane 7, Megan Mativier with a time of 7:11.34. In lane 1, Emily Fitzpatrick with a time of 7:33.46. And in lane 3, Neha Janardhan with a time of 7:44.53. And that was a lot of those girls' first time swimming that event, so way to go, ladies. Our 200 freestyle official times were in lane 5 relay, a time of 1:46.84. Definitely a state qualifying time. In lane 3, we had a time of 1:57.85, and in lane 7 was a time of 2:02.50. All right, stepping up on the block is our breaststrokers. In lane 1, we have Sarah Matthew. In lane 2, we have Olivia Emanuel. In lane 3, we have Maggie Mullen. In lane 4, Sarah Bordeaux. In lane 5, senior captain Kylie Hoare. In lane 6, Maddie Carroll. In lane 7, Vivian Ader. And in lane 8, Allie Lombardo. Kylie Hoare and Maddie Carroll both swam this event last week. Kylie Hoare with a time of 1:19.31 and Maddie Carroll with a time of 1:25.40. So we'll see if both of those girls can beat that time and maybe even qualify for our sectionals cut, a time of 1:17.21, or our state cut, a time of 1:16.00. Kylie Hoare is out strong in front with Maddie Carroll not far behind her. On the other side, Sarah Bordeaux not far behind as well. Kylie looking really strong on her last 25 with strong kicks. And we'll get her official time on that finish soon. Sarah Bordeaux with a second place finish looking strong. And Maddie Carroll not far behind her looking strong as well. Finishing over in lane 3 was Maggie Mullen. Closer to us, Vivian Ader, Allie Lombardo. And over in lanes 1 and 2, furthest from us, Sarah Matthew and Olivia Emanuel with great swims. All right, I have our official times from the 100 backstroke. In lane 5, we had Kate Edison with a time of 102.75, which qualifies her for states. Great job, Kate. In lane 4, we have Alina Svoboda with a time of 105.22. In lane 6 was Estella Cui with a time of 107.02. In lane 3 was Sofia Estevez with a time of 109.03. In lane 8 was Ella York with a time of 116.41. In lane 2 was Allie Bean with a time of 117.68. In lane 7 was Olivia Smith with a time of 119.28. And in lane 1 was Taylor Campbell with a time of 120.56. Great job, backstrokers. We're going to do a quick 5-minute warm-up before our 400 freestyle relays, but I'll let you know what those relays will be soon. All right, in lane 1, we will have Matali Deshmukh, Brenna Donahue, Emily Fitzpatrick, and Joy Cow. In lane 3, we'll have Felicia Kwan, Jane Edison, Olivia Smith, and Estella Cui. In lane 5, we will have Kate Edison, Mia Burns, Julia Tricana, and Madison Leong. In lane 7, we'll have Ella York, Megan Mativier, Neha Janardhan, and Taylor Campbell. We'll be back with those relays soon. All right, everybody, we have the official results of the 100 breaststroke. In lane 5, we had Kylie Hoare, very close to last week's time with a time of 119.44. In lane 4, we had Sarah Bordeaux with a time of 122.34. In lane 6, we had Maddie Carroll with a time of 124.82, cutting about a second off her time from last week. In lane 3, we had Maggie Mullen with a time of 129.10. In lane 8, we had Ali Lombardo with a time of 130.37. In lane 7, we had Vivian Ader with a time of 131.00. In lane 1, we had Sarah Matthew with a time of 137.53. And in lane 2, we had Olivia Emanuel with a time of 138.22. Great job, breaststrokers. And we're almost ready to bring you our last event of the evening, the 400 freestyle relay. Stay tuned. All right, we are getting ready for our last event of the evening, the 400 freestyle relay. Leading off in lane 1 is Matali. Leading off in lane 3 is Felicia. Leading off in lane 5 is Kate. And leading off in lane 7 is Ella. Each swimmer does a 100-yard freestyle in this event. The fastest 400 freestyle relay in Westford's history for the women are the team of Sang, Rudiman, Zhu, and Key in 2017 with a time of 3:32:47. We'll see if we can have our 2021 team beat that by the end of the season. All right. Off to a strong start. In lane 5 was Kate Edison, and transitioning over to Mia Burns. Just diving in lane 3 is Jane Edison, and in lane 7 is Megan Mativier. Over in lane 1 was Brenna Donahue, just diving in now. A strong lead from our lane 5 relay with Mia Burns in the pool now. Mia swimming some of the longest events in high school swimming today and most challenging, but it's not showing during this 400 freestyle relay. She still looks really strong. All right, Mia is finishing up her last 25, and diving in third in this relay is Julia Chicana. Diving in over in lane 3 is Olivia Smith. And diving in closest to us in lane 7 is Neha. And furthest from us is Emily, diving in lane 1. Julia Chicana is looking fast in this anchor of the 400 free relay. Here comes, I'm sorry, not the anchor, the third leg of our 400 free relay. And here comes our anchor, Madison Leong, diving in, senior captain. Looking really strong for the first 25 of her final 100. All right, diving in over in lane 3 is Estella for the anchor of that relay. Diving in closest to us to anchor her relay is Taylor Campbell. And just diving in now is Joy Cow in lane 1. Here comes Madison for her final 25 and the finish. Nice swim from Madison. Coming in for her last 50 is Taylor Campbell. Coming in over in lane 3 for her finish is Estella. Turning for her last 50 is Joy over in lane 1. All right, here comes Taylor for her last 25. a senior on the team and anchoring her relay. Nice swim from Taylor. And furthest from us in lane 1 is Joy, finishing up her last 25. All right, great job from all of our swimmers tonight. Stick around for the results of the 400 freestyle relay. All right, and we have the final times for our 400 freestyle relays. In lane 5, a time of 4:01:57, which qualifies them for states. In lane 3, a time of 4:20:97, which is a sectionals qualifying time. In lane 7, a time of 4:49:07. And in lane 1, a time of 5:08:56. Wonderful swims from all of our swimmers tonight and our divers. Great job this weekend, Westford Academy. We'll let you know what the results are of our virtual meet soon. We will see you next weekend at the same times. Have a great night.